at Tata Motors, Lucknow for 1 year, and he also worked at McKinsey University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign in the US Center for Research Excellence in Fabrionics. His area of study and interest are computer-aided design and manufacturing, reverse engineering and rapid prototyping, design of machine elements, engineering drawings, universal human values and ethics. Presently, Sir is working as Associate Professor and HOD at UP Institute of Design, Noida, and he has more than 10 years of teaching experience. Today, Sir is going to deliver a very interesting topic: mental and emotional development, stress management, meditation, human values and ethics, health and happiness. So, meditation plays a vital role in cleansing the negative emotions in a person. Inside every culprit, we see a victim crying for help. It is nothing but stress, lack of broad vision about life, lack of understanding, which leads to violence in society. Only the spiritual knowledge and education in human values can help an individual stand up to the demands of day and also helps in managing problems one faces in their daily lives. So, as a responsible citizen, we need to bring that responsibility to our society and to take the responsibility for ourselves and for the environment around. So, without wasting much of the time, I would like to hand over this introduction to Kumar Sambhavkar. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So allow me to share the slide from my side.
Yes, sir.
Is the slide visible, sir?
Yes,
Ma'am?
sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
If you look at the title of the session, it includes so many things like mental and emotional development, stress management, meditation, human values, ethics, health, happiness, everything. So, what I'll do, I'll give a talk from my side, and I'd like to have it interactive. So in place of just sermonizing something from my side, I would like to develop a process of dialogue here in the session, right? And I also expect you to get engaged in the dialogue. And maybe we are not able to cover too much of content, but at least that dialogue that gets initiated will acquaint us with all these issues. So is it okay? Are we ready to get into dialogue on all this?
Sir.
Is that fine? Okay. So in the meantime, I also call the names of participants and try to take their views.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, ma'am. So we have this National Education Policy 2020. And if you look at the National Education Policy, the first statement in the policy says that education is fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. So in education, we all are in education, and education has a certain role to play in the development of a human being, in the development of society. So we have to realize the full human potential. We have to come to know what a human potential is. Presently, maybe this is something that we'll explore. Is our education really in a process to develop the full human potential, or it is only imbibing some skills? So if there's a student in mechanical engineering, the student is learning some skills of mechanical. Some student is learning for architecture. Somebody is learning for electronics, right? But is it all that the human potential is? As a human being, what all capabilities and competencies can be developed in the human being? Maybe they are not getting addressed. Since the full human potential is not getting addressed today, so we are not able to develop an equitable and just society also. It has become fragmented, okay? It has become very skewed in its development. One part of the society is getting developed, but so many facets are unaddressed. And again, if you look at the national development, I'll say the global development, okay? It is not as expected. So can I have your concurrence on this? Is it true to say? Are we really able to develop the full human potential through education today, or something needs to be done? Can I have some views on this?
Sir, not yet. Something more needs to be done.
Yes. So can you just guess, sir, what more is required to be done?
skill development.
So skill is one part. Okay, maybe we develop like electronics, the skill of electronics, right? But whether the student is going to utilize it rightly or wrongly is not addressed through the skill part.
Mental health.
Mental health.
Mental health.
Okay.
Students should be taught not to live to have a living. He should have an education for life.
Yes.
Now students are having only education for living. They should have education for life.
Well said, sir. Presently, education is only addressing the living part. And if you look at the living part also, only one aspect is being covered, and that is physical facilities. So to say, money, isn't it? In living, another thing that matters is our behavior, our attitude, our conduct with our family members, with our colleagues. So that behavioral part is also left out. Only thing that we are addressing is the work. That one has to do with the rest of nature. There also, if you look at the capability that is being developed, is only to learn some skills. But the readiness to work with your hands, to make your hands dirty, okay, the readiness to labor is somewhat missing. Any other thing, any other take on this? Miss Neha Patil? Any other take on this?
I think, sir, in the syllabus, compulsorily we have to include physical health and mental health
Yes.
syllabus.
Yes. So nice, ma'am. So let us proceed from here. So if you look at the education policy, it is trying to address the full human potential, trying to address the all-rounded development of the student. So now value-based education or not has become a moot question now. Now the question is how to ensure value-based education. So in fact, this is now accepted, acknowledged across the country. I'll say across the globe. People are not talking of value education. Now we have to move one step further. How to ensure value-based education. So value education means just including one additional course. Just a minute, ma'am. Some work is going on here. So one aspect could be value education where we include some course on human values, right? But the other way, or I'll say the next step would be value-based education. Let every course be value-based. Why should some course be left out? So value-based education will include the development of the humanistic, ethical, constitutional, and universal human values. So this is something that we are going to discuss. So let the values be humanistic, let the values be ethical, right? Constitutional and universal. Now let us look at the basic aspirations. We all are human beings, right? So if you talk about the full human potential, when do I say that my full human potential is realized? What would be the mark of it? What would be the authentication of it? So I'll say that my basic aspiration as a human being, if I look at it, is to ensure continuity of happiness and prosperity. As a human being, we all want to be happy and prosperous. Is it true to say? You can raise your hands in response if you feel that yes, you want to be happy and prosperous. Okay. Okay, nice. So we all want to be happy, isn't it? We all want to be prosperous. Now also just try to find out whether we want to be happy and prosperous in continuity or only sometimes. What do you think? Only sometimes or in continuity? Maybe you can comment here in the chat box.
We should have.
Yes, sir.
Continuously.
Continuously. So
as per Swami Vivekananda, we should achieve Sachidananda. That means we should the goal of education should be self-realization, so that we should be in eternal bliss always.
Yeah. So ultimately, if you see, we all want to be happy in continuity every moment, isn't it? Similarly, we want to have the prosperity, the feeling of prosperity every moment. None of us wants to be feel deprived at any point of life. So this is the basic aspiration. Now, are we really able to fulfill this aspiration? Is something to be questioned. Now, if you extend it to society, we can see that at the level of society also we have some aspirations. So when we are going for education, ultimately, when we are talking about giving education to 100% population, what kind of goal we are having? So I'll suggest that we can have these goals, but again, I'll keep open for you to explore. And let me tell you that whatever I'm saying from my side is only a proposal for you to explore. No need to assume it as true or false, but rather verify it, rather examine it, validate it. So I do expect that when we are providing education, we should be in a position to ensure happiness in every individual. And that is possible only through right understanding and right feeling. If you are able to imbibe the right understanding and right feeling in the students through education, then the happiness can be ensured. And this can be done for every human being. Similarly, we'd like every family of the society to be prosperous. Even if there is one family which is deprived, that will create a fear in the society. So we'd like every family to be prosperous. Similarly, we'd like to have fearlessness, that is trust in the society. Mutual trust, no fear. And we'd like to have coexistence in the nature. We like every unit of the nature to prosper. We just see that like just 2 days back there was a news, and it is now spreading also, that the bird flu has come and so many birds are dying. Now just imagine if all the birds die, what will happen to the human race? It is said that if all the insects are removed from the planet, human beings will not be able to survive for more than 5 days, because our existence is dependent on trees, plants, animals, birds, insects, all of them. So we'd like to coexist with them. In place of depleting them, in place of making them extinct, we'd like all of them to prosper. So as a society, when we see, our basic aspiration is this: right understanding and right feeling in every human being, right? Prosperity in every family, fearlessness, that is trust in society, coexistence, that is mutual fulfillment in the nature and existence. And then when you look at the level of nation, we'd like to have harmony within and complementarity with the other nations. If you just see today, nations are investing at least 1/3 of the wealth of the nation on wars and ammunitions. Making military weapons has become the most flourishing business in the world, isn't it? So just see the amount of wealth that we are using, or I'll say wasting, on the arms and ammunitions. That can be utilized for nurturing the people. That can be utilized on education, on health. So many things can be very easily available. In spite of working day and night, we are not able to feel secure in the society. We are not able to feel prosperous. We are not able to enjoy happiness within. We are not able to nurture the rest of nature. So something is going wrong. So if you look at the basic human aspirations, these three can be told. Like at the level of human being, you'd like to live with happiness, prosperity, and continuity. And when I'm able to develop this kind of understanding in me, then only I'll say that we are living with human consciousness. Similarly, at the level of society, we'd like to have a society where we can say that yes, it is equitable. There is justice in the society. And similarly, at the level of nation, we'd like to promote national development along with developing good international relations. And we have to think in holistic terms. We cannot just think in terms of providing some skill, some domain of skill to the student. So any take on this? Any comment on this? Pramod sir has been commenting. Anybody else? Can I name somebody? Can you allow me to name the participants? Dr. Mahmood, Ayaz Mahmood, Dr. Bipin Dash, can I have some response on this?
If the education is wholesome and it is able to guide the students
Yes.
about how their existence is co-dependent on all the other factors and other part of the society and other world, they automatically will be ethical.
Automatically
But ethical,
okay.
because they need it to be in balance, because it is vital even for their own existence in the long run. but that kind of education is not completely present, because when we concentrate on one aspect, the other aspect is missing out because of the lack of time or the space at which we are expecting our students to get settled or educated is different.
Okay.
And for that matter, if we take the way we are considering our education system, in which the vocational part of the education, which is going to teach them the livelihood part, is only existing in the degree part of it, and the education before that is only a introductory kind of education to the vocational part. If you take BTech, for example.
Yes, yes.
So in 4 years, if we think that we want to introduce the entire ecological system of his existence along with his education, that is not possible in 4 years, I think.
Not possible. You are.
But it is supposed to be introduced in when they are getting educated. They are supposed to be educated simultaneously about what aspects or what parameters of the balance are they going to affect by their work.
What does that mean, sir?
Like when you have an ecological system, the balance exists because of different parameters. So as long as the balance of the parameters are maintained, then the ecological system can go on. But those kind of educations can only be possible when we have an understanding of the industries and their impacts on the society.
Okay.
But our education system, if we take it into consideration, we are studying for and as soon as we complete our degree, we are seriously in search of a job. And for example, some of us like me will be getting into teaching, right? So, when I get into teaching, the contact with industry is lost. I'm coming from an education and again getting back into teaching.
Okay.
So
that's only one part, sir. I'm saying you are talking only about the vocation. Okay. I'm talking about other aspects also. So whether we have to address the need for happiness in the human being or not, in the student or not, whether we have to address the need for right understanding in the student or not, this is also to be addressed.
Yeah, true, sir. What I'm trying to say is, only when you build a trust with your customer, he will start coming back to you. That's when a ecological system starts building up between the customer and the producer and the consumer.
Okay.
Right.
Fine, sir.
So that is actually a lifestyle approach, right? But which is not part of the curriculum that we teach, right?
Okay.
We try to teach, but most of the time the students and their parents are very much anxious about the learning part of the thing than the personal interfacing part of it.
Okay. Nice. That is one aspect which needs to be covered. But I'll say that we still need to have a holistic view. So when you look at it in a holistic sense, so that is only one part that we are trying to address. If you look at the complete picture, so all this has to be addressed. We have to address this need as a human being. We have to address this need as a society. We have to address this need as a nation, isn't it? So if you look at it, we all are in education, and if you want to realize the human aspirations through education, then we have to make this human education sanskar process humane. We have added a word sanskar here because sanskar is something that follows education. So sanskar is my living, education is my understanding. So when we have this process of human education sanskar, then we are able to develop a humane worldview in the student. Okay. Presently, the world vision is only for accumulating and consuming wealth, right? For more and more pleasures, isn't it? This is the kind of vision that is getting developed in the student. In place of that, we have to have a human world vision. Now with this vision only, the student is able to contemplate the human values, the human culture, so that he is able to or she is able to pick the right kind of skill which can enable him or her to live with human conduct, isn't it? And then these students who are going through education can be pillars of human society, can be pillars of human culture and civilization. So you have to look at the broad picture, sir. Being in education, you have to look at the complete picture. So this is the full human personality. And then when we have this kind of society, culture and civilization, we can say that yes, our society is just and equitable, and that will lead to a national development in true sense of the word. So if you look at the current education, this is missing. Some of you commented on this also. This is missing. Okay, the world vision is not getting built up. The values are not there as a part of one's competence, and that's why we'll see that we are just providing skills in place of providing skills to enable human conduct. We are only providing skills, and they may or may not be related to human conduct, isn't it? And then all these are questionable, whether we are able to develop this kind of society, whether we are able to develop this kind of nation is all to be questioned. You just see we are locked up in our houses, and one theory that goes is that viruses have been developed in the labs. Now if we are using our skill, let's say pharmacy skill, to develop some virus in the labs, may not be that has happened, I'm just saying that that is the case, then certainly the skill is not being employed for human conduct. Some inhuman activities are going on and we are employing our skills there, isn't it? So you have to be aware, we have to look into the solution to this. Now, if you look at this crucial missing link, okay, then it can be sorted. How? By providing such understanding in the students which can be termed as universal human values. And this we have been doing for the last 15 years in formal education, and we are finding it quite successful. So some content has been developed which can be termed as universal human values. And if you look at the content, it is completely universal. Universal means applicable to every human being, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, sex, region, background, whatever. Then it has to be rational. There is no need for any prescription. There is no need for any kind of dogma, belief, or set of do's and don'ts, should and shouldn't. But rather it has to be proposed to the student as we are doing it right now. And then we can judge it, we can evaluate it, we can question it, we can apply our logic to it. Then it has to be verifiable. I can look within and say, yes, this is what appeals to me naturally. And when I go to live accordingly, I can also see that, yes, this leads to mutual happiness in my behavior, mutual happiness with the rest of the world. It leads to mutual prosperity also. And fourthly, it has to be leading to harmony. So these are 4 basic guidelines for any input on human values. And then through that, we can have human thought, human culture with case studies. Okay. So one case study that we have been working on is Indian knowledge system. So many things have been said in the past. So if you can utilize those as a case study, that will also help. And then the value guided skill education can be there. So any comment on the basic guidelines? Anybody else would like to comment? Are these okay, the basic guidelines? Or something is to be added, something is to be deleted, something is to be edited? Any remark from somebody who has not spoken so far? See, this is a process of dialogue. Let me tell you frankly that so happens that when we have these Google Meet sessions, many of us generally turn the session on and we are involved in some other activity, but that will not help us explore the content. So you can comment on the content here. You can have share your views here.
Sir, can I add something more?
Okay, sir. You have spoken already. Can I have some other?
Yeah,
sir?
I actually.
Okay, tell me, sir.
No, if anybody else is commenting, it's okay. I have already spoken.
Chandraya is here. Dr. Chandraya, would you like to say something? Yeah, Dr. Chandraya. Okay, fine, sir. I think I am not able to connect to him. Please speak, sir. Pramod, sir.
Sir, okay, sir. I will just tell, because sir, my viewpoint is that we should focus more on the 10 Mukhya Upanishads. If you see from the there are 4 Mahavakyas. If you see the Upanishads, there are 100.
Yeah, we can refer to, but I'll just say that let us confine ourselves to the content.
Yes, sir. I am coming to that. So there are 4 Mukhya Upanishads, and with the 4 Mahavakyas, that Aham Brahmasmi, Ayamatma Brahma, Tattvamasi, and Prajnanam Brahma. So this Prajnanam is the awareness. So it is there in everybody of us. So we have to develop awareness, and as per the statement in the Bhagavad Gita, the love is in the heart. It is smaller than the smallest. So these two, awareness and love, become Shiv, and Shakti is the energy and the matter. So if we are able to be aware that we ourselves are God, that awareness, suppose I am holding a pen and I know that I am holding this pen, that is awareness. And suppose if I am able to love other person, so that is in the heart, and I am having energy to do all this, and I am having matter. So if all these things I am able to realize, I realize Shiva Shakti. And once I realize Shiva Shakti,
wait,
I
sir.
realize
Please. I'll just say that let us confine
don't need
to the
to-
content here.
Yes, sir.
I was just trying to have your opinion on the basic guidelines on the input. So fine, sir, fine. Yeah. Anybody else would like to share something? Or let me proceed from here then. So people who are having this kind of competence, they are only able to contribute to a human society, human culture, and this can be realized. Okay, so just think over it, whether these guidelines are okay or not. Okay, irrespective of any kind of differentiation, right? Without any differentiation, can we impart human values, which is applicable to every human being? So the role of the universal human values in holistic education, if you see, so UHV fills the crucial missing link of value education. So we are able to develop a holistic worldview, and that provides the base and details for a human knowledge system, a target or endpoint, a criteria for evaluating a knowledge system. It provides the guidelines for skill education. Okay, so what are the guidelines? So it has to be nature friendly and human friendly. So whatever skill we are imparting, we have to see whether this is human friendly and eco friendly or not. And if you look at the scope, complete scope, then the behavior for mutual fulfillment, the teamwork, collaboration, has to be taken into account. The science, technology, management for mutual prosperity, the service part, which promotes harmony in the family and society, and meaningful participation in the family, neighborhood, institution, workplace, community, etc., all the way to the nation and beyond. So this UHV content can contribute in these many ways, okay, in providing holistic education. So let us have a glimpse of universal human values. So as I mentioned earlier, whatever is said is a proposal. No need to assume it as true or false, but verify it on your own right, on the basis of your natural acceptance. So it is a process of dialogue. I am trying to enter into dialogue with you so that we can explore at our own end. So this starts as a dialogue between me and you, but gradually you'll see that it takes the shape of a dialogue within your own self. Okay, so between what you are and what you really want to be. So if you look at your being right now, you'll see that there is one reality which is what you are, and there's another reality what you really want to be, and the two may not be the same. The two may be quite different. So let me ask you one question. You can respond in your chat box. So what do you naturally accept? Feeling of opposition or feeling of relationship? What do you naturally accept? The feeling of opposition or feeling of relationship?
Feeling of relationship.
Feeling of relations, sir.
Relations. Okay, ma'am. Maybe you can respond in the chat box. So feeling of relationship, isn't it? Does anybody accept naturally feeling of opposition also? You'll see none of us. But if you look at what we are today, how we are living, okay, so might be we are into opposition. We are in opposition in our family, we are opposition in our workplace, right? So what we really want to be is the feeling of relationship, to have the feeling of relationship. But what we are today, if you look at it, you'll see that sometimes relationship, sometimes opposition. So you'll see that there is a gap between what you are and what you really want to be. And this gap is the whole problem. So can we have a dialogue between those two realities, what you are and what you really want to be? So the purpose of this workshop, or whatever workshop we're conducting on human values, is basically to initiate this internal dialogue. Can our being be completely what we really want to be? That is our natural acceptance. Okay. So once the two are the same, we are resolved. If the two are different, we are in trouble. If what I am is not the same as what I really want to be, it is a problem. And if what I am is the same as what I really want to be, I'm resolved. I'm at peace within. So what is our effort for today? Is it for living, just surviving, or living with fulfillment, or living with continuous fulfillment? Called by different names such as bliss, peace, satisfaction, happiness, fulfillment. You know, so many words have been used: salvation, contentment. Where are we focusing right now? At 1, 2, or 3? Try to think over it and comment. Maybe you can comment in the chat box. Some response in the chat box. Okay, there is one response saying living for fulfillment. Okay, Pramod sir is saying he's working for third one. Okay, Anish sir is saying living with continuous fulfillment. Okay, nice. Dr. Kannan is saying third one. Living with fulfillment. Okay, Dr. Neha is saying 2. So if you are just working for living, that is surviving, you are just working for physical facility, primarily for accumulation, excitement, pleasure, all those things. Going ahead, one may go for living with fulfillment. So one has to take care of the relationships as well as physical facility. But if you have to work for continuous fulfillment, then you have to work for 3 things. One is the right understanding, the second is relationship, and third is physical facility. So many times unknowingly in education, we are just focusing on the surviving part, teaching skills only to earn one's living. Okay. And we leave it as a personal issue. We leave it as a personal problem, that if you have to manage your relationships, you have to understand yourself. And if you look at our own past, if you see, we have been reading books, listening to audio, video lectures, how to fulfill relationship. But there is no input in education which can directly talk about this relationship part. And certainly there is no input on right understanding. Okay, by our own interest, we try to study certain things, we try to grasp some ideas, okay, listen to some audio, watch some videos so that we can have this right understanding. So currently, if you look at the education, we see that education has got primarily focused on surviving part, and the two are not being addressed the way it should be. So for living with continuous fulfillment, you can explore what is required. Right understanding in the self, relationship with human being, physical facility with the rest of nature. You just try to find out, are all 3 required or something is redundant? What do you think? Can I have your response here? Are all 3 required?
Existence can only happen with all the 3 in place.
Yes. Nice, sir. So we can be fulfilled only by ensuring all the 3. Okay, Dr. Sinha's video has got turned on. Maybe you can turn it off, your video, sir. Okay. So all 3 are required. Okay. Is anything more than this required? What do you think? Is there anything more than this required? Okay, Dr. Kannan is saying something more is required. What is more required, sir? Dr. Kannan?
I will remove the dead person. Please continue, sir.
Satisfaction. Okay, so satisfaction is a natural outcome. Yeah, satisfaction.
So in order, excuse me, sir, in order to do the right understanding, we have to train ourselves with some activities. So for example, meditation and all. So like we have to do more in order to accomplish right understanding. So without doing anything, we can't understand the other human being thoughts correctly, in right way. So in order to acquire anything from the others positively, we have to train ourselves by doing meditation and all.
Okay, so meditation could be one way. What else? So you are giving some way to ensure right understanding. Nice. So what else can be there? So just try to find out whether something more is required as a human being. So meditation is one way to ensure right understanding. So if one person has right understanding, as well as able to fulfill the relationships, as well as able to fulfill the need for physical facility, can we say that this is completeness of living? This is completeness of human consciousness. What do you think? Or something remains unaddressed while addressing these three? Any other comment on this? Dr. Hussain? Dr. Harish? Okay. Any other comment on this? See, you have to speak up. Otherwise, it's not a monologue. I'll keep on speaking, but that will not reach you. So as I told you, it is going to be a dialogue, not a monologue. Dr. Arun, Dr. Ashish Taneja, Dr. Bindu, Dr. Venkatesh, no comments? Yeah. Dr. Ashish, you want to say something?
Sir, is this theory same as one given by Abraham Maslow, the need theory, which says that first it is financial needs, then insurance needs, then need for love and relationships, and then self-realization needs. Is it the same thing, sir?
Is it just, so I'll say it is just the reverse of it, not the same. So Maslow says that the first need is physical facility. Okay, what we are saying as a human being, something else comes at the first position. That is what I'm going to ask you next. Are we working for all the three? And if all the three are required, what is the priority?
Okay.
So what is the priority according to you, sir? Just tell me.
Sir, right understanding is first priority.
Yes, yes. Right understanding is the first priority. Nice, sir. What would come as priority?
Relationships is second.
Yes, and is third. Right, sir. Nice, well said. So if you look at the priority, right understanding comes at the first priority. Next comes relationship. And third one is physical facility. Okay, so what Maslow is saying essentially is that it is an appraisal of the current scenario. If you look at the current state of the human being, people are putting physical facility as the first priority. And that's why they are in trouble, because the right understanding part is missing and there is no fulfillment in the relationship. So when I am able to ensure right understanding in me, then only I am able to fulfill the relationship with mutual happiness. And when I am able to ensure the right understanding in me, then only I can identify the need for physical facility correctly, so that I can have a feeling of prosperity within me. And mutual word means that when I am able to be fulfilled within, then I am able to fulfill the other unit also, be it human or the rest of nature. So unless I am able to make out how much physical facilities I need, how will I feel prosperous? Say if you have to take water in a glass, okay, you can fill the glass with water only when the glass has a bottom. If the glass doesn't have a bottom, how will you ever be in a position to fill the glass? Right? We can never say that the water is enough. In a similar manner, if I have to have the feeling of prosperity within, then I have to be able to make out how much physical facilities I require as a human being. Otherwise, how will I ever have the feeling of having enough, having more? That more sense will not get developed. Similarly, with human being, I need to understand the feelings which can fulfill me, which can fulfill the other. Most of the time, we are trying to borrow, demand feelings from others. Somebody should respect me. Somebody should trust me. Somebody should love me. You know? We can keep on demanding these feelings from others, while these feelings are not ensured within. But if you are working with all the three, then this kind of scenario will be there. On the other hand, as I was mentioning, what people are doing today, okay? And Maslow is talking about this. This is called as somewhat animal consciousness. Okay, because the needs of the animals are fulfilled merely by physical facilities, but not for the human beings. So if our living is only for this, then we are missing on the part of right understanding. We are missing on the part of relationship. And then what results in our relations is unhappiness. That is also mutual. So we are unhappy within, and we are making others unhappy. We feel deprived within, and we keep on exploiting and depriving others. Isn't it? So if you put the physical facility as the first priority, this kind of scenario will be there. Any comment on this? Dr. Divakara? Dr. Bipin Patil? Yeah, Dr. Devisha is saying true. Nice. Ma'am, would like to say something, Dr. Devisha? Dr. Deepak Kumar? Dr. Gayatri? Anyone among you who has attended the full 5-day online workshop on the platform of AICTE? Anyone from this college? No one. Okay, Gayatri ma'am has attended? Okay. Oh, Devisha ma'am has done probably 3-day FDP. Okay, nice, nice. Some of you are acquainted. So is the unhappiness in our family more due to lack of fulfillment or relationship, or more due to lack of physical facility? Try to find out. Think over this. This is an important issue. We all have, or might have, I'll say, problems in the relation, problems in the family. Okay. Now, what is the major reason of the problem in the family? At least if I'm talking to this group, okay, who are in the teaching fraternity, what is the major cause of problems in the relation, problems in the family? Can you respond in the chat box? Okay, Ashish sir has done 2 programs. Nice. So what is the major cause? Is it the lack of relationship or the lack of physical facility? Can you respond here? What is the major cause? Ashish sir is saying both. Aruna ma'am is saying lack of relationship. More expectations from others. Okay. Now, even while we are expecting from the other, is it the issue of relationship or physical facility? Chandraya sir is saying both. Okay. Some other opinion? I'll respond to this. Okay. Some other opinion on this? Lack of relationship. Okay. One response is physical facility. Think over it. Lack of understanding. Okay. Okay. Neha ma'am is saying lack of physical facility. Ramasuri sir is also saying physical facility. Any other comment? So you have to explore. You have to explore within. You have to think and then respond. Okay, to clarify on this, let me give an example. Let's say there is a family in which 4 people are there, and every person requires 5 chapatis in a day. Chapati is something to eat, let us say, XYZ you can say. Everyone requires 5 chapatis in a day. So in a day, the family requires 20 chapatis. Let us say someday the family has only 18 chapatis. 2 are less. So will there be a fight in the family or not? What do you think? Yes or no? There's a lack of physical facility in the family. So will there be a fight for food in the family or not?
In a family, no.
Pardon, sir?
In a family, there won't be any fight.
Okay, nice. Ashish sir is saying no if it is for one day. Okay, Pramod sir is no fight if sharing mentality there. Yes. So if the mentality is to share, then there will be no fight. Okay. So if there is relationship in the family, the relationship is secure, then we'll feed the other first and then eat. And we'll work the next day tomorrow so that there is no dearth of food the next day. But if there is no feeling of relationship, okay, then we'll snatch from the other, eat that very day and accumulate for the next day. Isn't it? If there is lack of relationship. So even if there is a lack of physical facility in the family, problems are not due to majorly due to lack of physical facility. They are due to lack of relationship. And this we can see at the level of family, at the level of family cluster, at the level of village, at the level of nation. That ultimately it boils down to lack of relationship and not physical facility. So that's why you can see that there are two kinds of people in the society. One who are lacking physical facility and they are unhappy and deprived. There is another set of people who are having physical facility, still unhappy and deprived. So even though people have physical facility, they feel unhappy, they feel deprived. While what we really want to be is three: to have physical facility, at the same time be happy and prosperous. So find out where are you now, at 1, 2 or 3. So the symbol, if you see it, is something for you to pause and think. So where we are now and where do you want to be? Can you respond in the chat box? Okay, Ashish sir is saying we are presently at 2. Okay. Any other response? 2. Okay. Okay, nice. So some of you are at least giving a serious thought to this and responding. Yes. So we are presently at 2. And where do you want to be? Yes. So there is a response from FDP-CSE. Probably ma'am is there. So you want to be at 3. Yes, we want to be at 3, not at 2 or 1. So if you look at the current state of society, we'll see that this is all data from UNO or FAO. So it says that of the 4.2 billion tons of food produced every year, more than 1 billion tons of food is wasted or lost every year. This is a report from 2011. So much of food is wasted. About a third of all the food produced for human consumption every year, or roughly 1.3 billion tons, is lost or wasted, according to a new study commissioned by UNO. So the global food production is 6 times the requirement. Now this is all astonishing data. Even India, if you see, we are producing so much of grain, and we are exporting also. So the global food production, if you see, is 6 times the requirement. But the food wastage also is 1/3 of production. So the wastage is enough to feed 1,300 crore people every year. So if you see the population of the earth, it is something around 750 crore. And maybe it was 650 crores in 2011. Okay, population has multiplied at a fast pace. So if you look at the current data, it says that about twice the population on this earth can be fed if the wastage is removed. So have you understood right utilization? Is it a question of production? Certainly not. Is it a question of distribution? Yes. Is it a question of relationship? Yes. If I feel related to the other, I'll distribute to the other, I'll share with the other, in place of accumulating, consuming. Okay. Is it a question of right understanding? Yes. Any comment on this? What do you think? Agree or disagree? You can mention agree or disagree. Okay, agree. Okay, nice. Agree to this. So is development just in increasing physical facility? We're just accumulating, we're just producing, we're just innovating different ways of manufacturing physical facility. But is that all? And is development ensuring all the three? Is this transformation desirable? Think over it and respond. What do you think? Is it desirable? Can we do this, or are we required to do this in education? Yes. So this kind of transformation is required. And are we really making effort for this? And do we need to make effort? So in which we are trying to explore into the requirements for holistic development for this kind of transformation. So in place of working just in the domain of physical facility, can our consciousness be in terms of human consciousness, so that we are able to address all the needs of the human being, not only the physical facility part. So the role of education sanskar is to enable this transformation to the human consciousness, and for this all the three have to be ensured. Right understanding in every child, the capacity to live in relationship with every other human being, and the capacity to identify the need for physical facility and the skills and practice for sustainable production of more than what is required, leading to the feeling of prosperity. What do you think? So if you look at the first thing, it is missing. We are not able to ensure the right understanding in every child. If you look at the second thing, that is also missing. The capacity to live in relationship with other human being. In the third part also, if you see, the identification of the need for physical facility is missing. Students are never able to make out how much they require. They are going for placement. How much they want from the placement? As much as possible. Just think, can this be the way? And the willingness to produce by way of labor is also missing. And the core feeling that is generated is to accumulate more and more and to consume more and more rather than to produce. So the first part is also missing, second is also missing, the third also, the first two things are missing. Only the desire is to accumulate more and more, consume more and more, not even to produce more and more. So what is the state of society? Any comment on this?
Sir, how to decide how much is the requirement?
Yes, a nice question, sir. So for this, we have to understand the human being. So I'll briefly respond to this. When you come to the complete workshop, sir, then we can have the detailed answer. So if you look at human being is coexistence of two entities. One is the self and the other is body. The self is the conscious entity, the body is a material entity. So if you look at the needs in terms of material things, okay, so they are all quantitative and they are all limited in quantity. So for example, food that I consume is limited in quantity, clothes limited in quantity, houses limited in quantity, gadgets limited in quantity. So every physical facility that I require is limited in quantity, right? But if you look at the need of the self, it is like happiness, peace, respect, trust. These are all feelings. So we cannot quantify them and we want them continuously. Every physical facility that we require is temporary. I need food thrice a day. Okay. I need warm clothes only in winter. But happiness I need every moment. Isn't it? So if you are able to see the two needs separately, then we can make a different program. Otherwise, when you go to have respect from your physical facilities, for example, if you feel that you will get respect by your car, using your car, then how much price of car is to be paid so that you can get respect from others cannot be decided. Okay, but if you are able to understand what respect means, then we can make the program for respect. So whether is respect to be earned through car or through something else, that is to be understood. Ashish sir, is that so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have to understand the needs of the body and self correctly. If you look at the
But sir,
yes.
But sir, everywhere money is required. What you are talking about is going back back in life when it was human life just existed, but now everything is available in money. If we want to get our children, give our children a good education, we definitely require money.
Yes, sir.
So how to balance that, sir?
Yeah, so money also, if you see, if I'm able to see that the need for physical facility is limited, so I just have to multiply that need for physical facility by the price level, and I can quantify the money that is required. So if rice is 10 rupees a kg and I eat, let's say 50 kg of rice in a year, right? So I can make out that I need 500 rupees for rice in a year. I'm just giving an example. If the price level is like 100 rupees for 1 kg of rice, then I require 5,000 rupees in a year. So the amount in rupees can be easily made out if I'm clear about the amount of physical facility that I require.
But the inflation will also have its effects, sir.
Yes. So given all that, so 20 years back, maybe rice was 10 rupees a kg. Today the rice is 50 rupees a kg. 10 years hence it can be 100 rupees a kg. So the amount of money that I require will depend on the price level, will depend on inflation, but the amount of physical facility that I require, isn't it, is something definite, is something that can be made out. So if you look at even our incomes, okay, now the kind of income that we are having today with the 7th pay commission is at one level. 30 years back, 20 years back, this kind of income was not there. So the two are going up. The price level is going up, the income is also going up. But what remains definite is the need for physical facility, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Nice, sir. So if you look at the current state of society, what is it? Families are living together in a relationship of mutual fulfillment, having a common goal. Or people living together but not in a state of mutual fulfillment, having differing goals. Or people living separately in a position of struggle, having conflicting goals. Where do you stand today as a society? Can I have responses in the chat box? Okay. Dr. Aruna is saying conflicting goals. Okay. Ashish sir is saying common goals. Let us see. What is the state of society today? So you'll see that when we are having a common goal, then only we can say that it is a society. When we are having differing goals, it is just like a crowd. And when we have conflicting goals, it is like a battlefield. Similarly, check what the state is at the level of individual, at the level of family, at the level of natural environment, at the level of individual also. Okay, I have desires which are in harmony within, or desires which are completely different from each other, or desires which are conflicting each other. Similarly, in the family, the way we are living today, do we have some commonality there? We all have common goals or differing goals or conflicting goals. Something to be made out. So if you look at the current state in the society, this kind of scenario has emerged. There's a common assumption that money is everything. And this is getting reinforced through education, that money is everything. And if you can see, this kind of notion, false notion, has gone into every human being, that money is everything. And that's why there's an effort to accumulate by any means. But can every human being go for it? So no. So this is there only in few individuals. And that's why you can see that there is domination, exploitation, fear in society. And then there is mastery and exploitation over nature. So this kind of scenario is there. And then there is obsession for consumption, profit, sensual pleasure. So there is obsession for consumption. How much I have to consume? One person here in Noida was caught on the charges of corruption. It was found that he has 1,000 houses. He was working in a government department. He had accumulated 1,000 houses across the country. Can one human being require 1,000 houses? Then obsession of profit. If I have to become the richest person in the world, how much profit I have to earn? Can't be made out. So that becomes a kind of obsession. Similarly, for obsession for sensual pleasure, so much of, so many activities are going on in the society today. Many industries are working for it. Similarly, if you look at the societal level, then you can see terrorism and war is there. There is war and there is terrorism. In the nature, if you see, resource depletion is there, pollution is there. Isn't it? Any comment on this? Any comment on this? Is that true to say? Okay, Pramod sir is saying true. Anybody else? Chandraya sir is saying yes. Yes, okay. So this kind of scenario has emerged. So problems are just symptoms, of lack of effort for the holistic development. So most of the problems that we see around us are really only the symptoms of human beings not living with human consciousness. So if at the level of human being, there is a lack of human consciousness, okay, and then this kind of problem is going to emerge in the society. And the basic effort required is for holistic development, holistic education sanskar to ensure human consciousness. And we can explore the potential outcome of holistic human education sanskar. So this is the complete content of value education if you see. Okay, so we have to talk about right understanding. So what is to be understood? So everything that is there in my life, as a human being, I have to understand myself. As a family, I have to understand my role in the family. As a society, I have to understand my role in the society. Similarly, in nature and existence. So I have to understand harmony at every level. And this is the core content of education. And the outcome of that would be that I am able to fulfill my relationship with human being or the rest of nature. And that becomes my sanskar. So the mark of an educated person would be that he is able to live or she is able to live in harmony. This is the mark of education. We are able to ensure mutual happiness, mutual prosperity. So when we have this kind of content, any question, any comment on this?
The mutual understanding depends on both than one.
Mutual understanding is different from?
Dependent on both than one side.
Yes. So when you say mutual, right, so it is going to be dependent. But again, I'll say that in our mutual relations also, ultimately my understanding is to be ensured by me. Okay, understanding in the other, I can have a role with the other. So mutual happiness will result only when I'm having the right understanding and I'm able to enable the right understanding in the other. So even if the other is not having right understanding, but if I'm able to enable it, if I'm able to convey the right feeling to the other, then I can fulfill the other person also. But if the other person, if you look at it, is to have happiness in continuity, then the other also needs to fulfill this first requirement of right understanding. But my role in every relation gets defined by this, through right understanding.
What percent of Indian students, Indian children are educated to the level of 10th?
Yeah, so?
If we introduce it in the education system, how is it going to benefit the society?
Okay, so one part would be that as we have introduced in the higher education. So through higher education, we are going to have parents of tomorrow, policy makers of tomorrow, teachers of tomorrow.
What what percentage?
See, if you are able to include this content in the complete higher education.
Sir, so, higher, how many, what percentage of the population is reaching higher education?
Yeah, I'm coming to it, sir. So if you look at this, so through higher education, so if you look at AICTE, okay, so 18 lakh students are getting admitted in various programs of AICTE every year. isn't it? Similarly, if you look at the Higher Education Commission, so a bigger population is there, right? Maybe it will go up to 50 lakhs in the complete higher education. So if you are able to educate these 50 lakhs people, they will be the ones who are going to make policies for the rest of the society. They are going to be the ones who are going to administer the society. So they will create provision for the rest of the society. One thing. Second thing, when we have enough faculty developed to teach in primary and secondary education. So if the primary education is prevalent, is available to every human being, every child, then this content will go further. In fact, we have to also see why students are losing interest in education, why they are dropping from education. Because our education is not able to address their basic need for happiness. Bharat sir?
It is actually because of survival of the fittest, sir, I think.
Yeah, so there also if you see whether this is truth or this is a false notion. Survival of the fittest, whether this is true or we have come to assume something here.
No, it is not assumption, sir. For example, say a middle class person tries to acquire a property and later on the real estate booms, the local goons will obviously occupy the property and you are losing your property. To avoid physical damage to your family, you will lose it.
Yeah, so if you look at this, sir, the person has become a goon only due to lack of right understanding.
No, because he has power. Not 90% are the goons, sir.
Sir, if you look at oneself, if you look at yourself, would you naturally accept to go into the role of a goon? None of us. So certainly, if a person is playing that kind of role in the society, if a person is developing into a goon, is certainly due to lack of right understanding. And if the person is given the right kind of education, then he will choose a different track of life.
He is not going to school also. How can we change him?
Yes, so that's what, sir. So if you look at the complete process, how a person becomes a goon, okay? So if you look at it, there is a lack of equitability in the society. There is lack of justice in society. Many of them.
So equitability should be introduced by taking from the one who is earning and giving it to the one who is not ready to work for the earning, is it?
No, I'm not saying that. Equitability is going to be ensured when we are able to ensure this right understanding so that we are able to work for mutual prosperity. We are able to work for mutual happiness. So
mutual means from both sides, sir.
Wait, sir. So for example, if you look at the society, there are some people who are having lack of physical facility. There are some people who are having accumulation of physical facility. So both are lacking right understanding. If I need some physical facility and I'm able to make out the need for the physical facility correctly, why will I accumulate more and more?
What is more and more, sir? You said inflation is unknown.
No, I'm not saying it is unknown. I'm saying, see, ultimately, when you look at the physical, one person has accumulated 1,000 houses. Is that required?
What percentage of people are accumulating 1,000 houses?
See, that 1,000 may not be common to every human being. If you are not able to understand your need for physical facility correctly, then is it possible for you to have the
sir, how many educated people are accumulated such property, especially in the employed classes?
In the employed class, okay?
Yes.
So there also you have to see whether if they have not accumulated, is it by choice or is it by force?
They are not able to accumulate that much of property that you are saying, sir.
Yes.
Their life salaries are sufficient enough to sustain themselves. Even saving in that is also wrong.
Yeah, sir, listen to this. In fact, we need some more time to interact. See, now here also, if you look at the desire, that desire to accumulate might be there, but there is no choice to accumulate that much. So again, if you see, there is a feeling of deprivation inside. So that's what I was mentioning. So there are two kinds of people currently. One kind of people are who are lacking physical facility and they are unhappy and deprived. There are some who are having physical facility but still unhappy and deprived because the desire to accumulate is there within. So even if one is having physical facility, but again,
Someone is stealing your property, and you are saying you are not supposed to be feeling unhappy and deprived, is it, sir?
No, not that, sir. Leave aside the somebody is stealing a property. I'm saying
No, that is we are finding it everywhere, sir.
wait, sir.
Almost every city.
Yeah, wait. So first of all, you have to look at yourself. If you are able to, are you able to make out the need for physical facility, sir?
Yes, I need to grow my children. At the age of, because of my education, at the age of 40, I am the father of a 1.5-year-old child. I have to safeguard her education, at least.
Yeah. So can you make out the need with all this? How much physical facility will require?
My retirement age would be around 60, I think.
No, leave that. How much you will earn is something else. How much you need?
I need to survive my lifetime, and at least till the child is self-sufficient.
Yes. So try to make it out. So if you are able to make out how much you need, and if you are having more than that, then only you can have the feeling of prosperity. Otherwise, you will have the feeling of deprivation.
Okay.
Isn't
that
it?
is very much true, but how is this education going to help Indians, around 90% of the Indians, who are probably below that level?
Yeah, so two things are required to be done here. One thing would be to make the education humane, so that at least 10% who are getting educated, at least say, if you are saying 10%, at least that 10% of population can have the right understanding. Okay, one thing. Second thing, to make this education available to all.
Education should be available to all, but it is made as paid education, because of which only some people are able to get it. And because of the same reason, I am worried about the education of my own child, because of which I am going to struggle for earning that amount for educating them. You are able to understand, right?
Yes.
And
So,
their health and their education, I am trying to safeguard it. I am not trying to earn anything more than that.
Wait, sir. Now what is happening? So here also, so first thing I said that, first of all, the people who are going into higher education or going to education, do you think all the three are to be fulfilled for them? Right understanding, relationship and physical facility, or only physical facility?
No, everyone needs to understand all the three. But one side of the understanding is not sufficient. That's what I'm saying.
Let us go one by one. So at least the people who are going through education need to have all the three.
Yeah, they are also having it, I think, because that is the reason they're able to forego their losses also and still go on with their fight for life.
See, if they are having all the three, then they would be able to live with mutual happiness, mutual prosperity in their life. Is that true?
With whatever you have, you are supposed to be happy and you will be happy.
Wait. So what?
Every one of you.
Yeah, wait. So we have to start from oneself. So you have to look for yourself, whether you are having right understanding, whether you are having the feeling of relationship with everyone, whether you are able to rightly make out the need for physical facility, whether you are able to ensure mutual happiness, mutual prosperity in all your relations. So this is something that you have to examine for yourself. If not, then you have to make a program for it at a personal level. Similarly, when I'm having this kind of competence in me, then only I can make a program for education. And the population who is going through education can be enabled to have this transformation. And then that population can help the other. So the second thing that I told, that we have to make this education common, prevalent to available to everybody. Now today education, since this is focused on physical facility, that's why it has become so costly. Otherwise, if you see, for right understanding and right feeling, you will not pay so much of price, and that will be available to every human being.
I remember, sir, when I was studying it, I studied throughout in government schools and colleges. And then the fees were not so high as it is now.
Yes. So we have to work out a solution for it. But nice, sir, you are exploring into this. Nice, but we need some time for this to have some complete exploration.
And we are not policy makers as such.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we need to work in higher education, because through higher education only we are able to nurture the policy makers also.
How many of the politicians are higher educated people? What percentage of them?
See, again, I'll say that since we are talking at so many issues at a time, so we have to start from yourself. Okay. No, wait, sir. You are also making some policies in your college, isn't it? Now, can you say that our policies completely are in terms of mutual happiness, mutual prosperity?
I certainly make sure that my students are happy with their whatever they are getting from me to the maximum extent they are willing to work with.
Yeah. So now maybe you have to work at the level of college, so that at the level of college, we can ensure this competence to ensure mutual happiness, mutual prosperity. We have to start from oneself. See, as you go further, you will see that none of us naturally wants to be unhappy or wants to make other unhappy. But with lack of right understanding, we are unhappy ourselves and make others also unhappy, as it is written here on the bottom side, if you see. So due to lack of right understanding, something that I had written earlier, this is resulting. Intention wise, none of us wants to be unhappy, none of us wants to make the other unhappy, but due to lack of right understanding, we are resulting into this. So be it a politician, be it a common man, be it a faculty, be it a student, every human being has the same kind of need for transformation.
True, sir.
Okay. Let me proceed from here, sir. But nice, I'll invite you to the complete workshop, and do come to the workshop so that you can have more clarity on this. But
Yes.
nice that you're paying attention to this discussion. Nice, sir. So through understanding of harmony only, we can have this living in harmony, and it can be guided. The education can be guided through values. Oh, wait, 1 minute, sir. Okay. Now, if you look at the complete expanse of right understanding, we have to understand the harmony at all these 4 levels, and then we are able to ensure justice in our relationship. We are able to ensure participation in the larger order, and then this can result. What will result ultimately through this? At least my vision will be clear. My vision will be, as a role in undivided society, as a role in universal human order, and that will be termed as human consciousness. So this is the transformation that is desirable in society. Presently, we are here. So Bharat sir was mentioning so many problems, but ultimately, if you see, there are problems at the level of human being, and that's why there are problems at the level of society. Because society is made up of individuals. If the individual is lacking right understanding, right, then this kind of society will result. And this kind of society will further generate human beings like this. So how to intervene? Where to intervene? So the intervention is through education. So through education, we can develop some people who are having this level of competence so that they are able to work for harmonious society. And once this is there in the society, in education, this can develop more human beings. And a tradition will emerge. A societal transformation will emerge. And that is possible only through education. Even if you make the laws, you make the provisions, ultimately the person who is going to implement is human being. So if that person is lacking this competence, and everyone has one's own reason for unethical conduct, has one's own reason for inhuman conduct, because if the person is unhappy within, he will participate here only. He will have assumptions about money, assumptions about accumulation, will dominate, exploit, and this kind of society will be there around him. So if you look at the complete content, we are talking about the harmony at all levels, and this is the process of UHV to self-explore. So the way we are trying to explore things within ourselves, isn't it? So that way, every human being, every student in your class can have this process enabled in him or her. And through individual transformation, that is to say, by ensuring that understanding, by ensuring happiness and prosperity within, we can have this societal transformation. And this is the desired achievement. So we have been experimenting with this with the last 40 years, and with all people from all walks of life, be they children, families, youth in higher education, urban people, criminals in jail. Even we have conducted workshop for criminals in jail, and it has been highly successful. With politicians, we have done it. With administrators, with social workers, NGOs, farmers, Adivasis, educated, non-educated, everyone. And it has been rigorously experimented in mainstream education also for the last 15 years, starting from one college to over 4,000 colleges today. I say even the number has gone up still. In the past 6 or 7 months, we conducted workshop for about 25,000 people. So this kind of possibility is there. And particularly, I'll thank this online media through which we are able to extend the message to the masses. So we feel that it is a workable proposal. It can be used as a starting point for further developing a universal framework for incorporating values in the mainstream education and living accordingly. So this kind of possibility does hold true. So the then President Dr. Kalam happened to go through this, and he also commented that this is a teachable human-based value skill. A teachable human value-based skill. So there has been one question in the minds of the people whether values can be taught or they are only to be caught. So we are able to see that values are to be caught as well as taught, and unless we are able to teach values, unless we are able to give this as a classroom input, what will the child explore? How will the child move ahead? And if you are not teaching values, then whatever you are teaching, does it mean that it has no value? So ultimately, values have to be taught, and this is quite possible. But again, there is no prescription, dogma, do's and don'ts. Right? What is required is essentially to develop this self-exploration. So the way some of you have been interacting with me, a similar kind of interaction has to take place in the classroom. The child has to come up with one's own questions, which are deeply embedded within oneself, and able to look at this. Similarly, in Bhutan, we have tried this, and the Queen of Bhutan came up with a very positive response to this. When I first heard about this intensive work in value education that Sri Ganesh Bagadia and his colleagues are doing, I attended a 3-day workshop of universal human values last year. And what I learned here touched me deeply. It is the expression of profound goodness that all human beings are innately endowed with. It is the way of Bodhisattva. Something like this came up. Then the chairman of AICTE, Dr. Anil Sahasrabuddhe, he said that why should not we conduct workshop for the faculty of AICTE? So we said that why don't you attend the workshop first? It has to start from you. Then he himself attended the workshop with all his colleagues and subordinates. And then he had a very positive feedback for this. And that's how it got implemented in AICTE also. So it is an essential component of the student induction program, and is also offered as an essential 3-credit course in 3rd or 4th semester. So the policy is already there in place. Any questions regarding whatever we are saying so far? Any questions, any comments? So I have been interacting with some of you, but I am not able to reach many of you. Any other question? Dr. Ananti? Dr. Anantraj?
Yes, sir. Your session is very interactive, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Do you have any question, ma'am?
No question, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Nice, ma'am.
Nice session, sir.
So, yeah, nice, sir. So policies are there in place already for UHV1 and UHV2 in the model curriculum. At least for all the AICTE colleges. Okay, this kind of provision is already there. And the enablement, if you see, so through 3-day, 5-day online FDP-SI. FDP-SI means Faculty Development Program for Student Induction throughout the year. So we have been conducting these workshops. And then we have refresher workshops also. So those who get acquainted with the foundational input can come to the refresher part. And then we can have face-to-face workshop also during summer and winter break. Currently, this is since lockdown period, we are not conducting face-to-face workshop. And the AICTE bears the cost of all this boarding and lodging. Let me tell you also one thing, that we as mentors do not take any kind of remuneration, neither for this session nor for any conducting any workshop on human values. So this is offered as a gift.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, that one. Any participants, any queries? Participants? Okay. Sir, My heartful thanks to resource person, Dr. Kumar Sambhav Garu, to share valuable information on universal human values in spite of his busy schedule. Thanking you, sir. He explained the importance of mutual happiness, prosperity, living without continuous fulfillment, realization, and understanding. It was a wonderful and interactive session. As a sir explained each value with the practical importance. Lastly, I thank all the participants for their patience listening and sharing their views in making the session more interactive. Thanking you very much. Thanking you very much. Thanking you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everybody.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thanking you, sir. Thanking you.
Thank you.